Welcome back to Cask 529, everyone. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shona.
What have we got going on tonight, Shona?
Tonight we have the Green River Whiskey review lineup, which is the whiskey without regrets and a built-in game.
Game? So what's this game we're talking about?
Well, I just found out this game today. I will tell you, whoever the marketing team is at Green River Whiskey or Bardstown Group are geniuses. So, one, I've been hearing a lot about Green River here lately with different reviews and stuff, and the Foolproof especially. And I'm like, oh, so we were at a get together, I think it was last weekend. They were saying, hey, our local liquor store actually has that in stock. You should stop by and get it. So today, Brian's been working in the shop and I decided to run over because I hadn't been in there for a while to see what they had. And I was able to find 3 of the 5 offerings that Green River has. I was able to pick up the wheated, the regular bourbon, and then the Foolproof bourbon. They also introduced a rye here in 2024, and they have a single barrel, which Ohio does OHLQ picks, and so I don't know when we might get one or if they've already released one, but if we're going to get a single barrel one, we'll probably have to pick it up at a different state, most likely. So anyways, I was looking at the bottle. You know, in my childhood, I was raised with horses and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's a really cool bottle. I mean, the bottom is a horseshoe. It's just a really sharp bottle. And you all know that I'm a bottle snob. If it's a really cool bottle, I love it. So when I was doing some research on it, I found just a tiny, tiny clip on their media thing that showed someone playing a game with this bottle. And so the game is shoot the shoe. So I am going to real quick, we won't take long, I promise, but if you're not aware of this, I wanted to share it because I have not seen it on any of the other reviews that I've seen. So I'm going to challenge Brian to shoot the shoe with me real quick so you guys can see what it is and see who gets best out of 7, and whoever wins does not have to wash the glens tonight.
Nice.
So I'm just going to face these bottles. I hope you guys can see this. So I need you to take a bottle and kind of face it like this as well. And I'm going to move this one out of the way for a second. And you guys will notice, and Brian, you'll notice that the horseshoe, there is a little slot when you place it. And so there's a little gap down here. And I have 7 dimes. You can use pennies. I would probably stick with pennies or dimes, honestly, for this. And what you try to do, oops, I missed, is shoot right into the gap there, okay? So that's the objective. So you ready to start?
Oh, we
that was just practice. I was showing you what to do.
So I was here winning and we weren't even playing.
But guys, I had to move mine this way just because of that way's not working for me. So, all right, ready?
Ready.
Go. All right. He beat me.
Sure.
I got 4 in. He got 5 in.
Got 5. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good because you know what? I've been practicing and he didn't even know this existed, so he wins.
Built-in drinking game.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
doesn't like a drinking game?
I love it.
Generally, you're thinking more like beer.
Hey, you know what? Whatever works. So I guess if you don't like the whiskey in the bottle, you at least got a game with it. But I've heard really good things about this, so I think we're going to like it.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll carry the Glens upstairs tonight.
Yeah, that way I can wash them. Thank you. So just a little bit about Green River. It is the 10th oldest distillery licensed in Kentucky. It was originally opened in 1885. However, they stopped distribution in 1955. Then it pretty much sat empty, exchanged hands a lot of times, and then it started reconstruction in 2014. And they tried to rebuild it. It's at its exact same location. They tried to rebuild it, keeping the as much as the original facility as possible. Then in 2016, they started distilling again. And then 2022 is when Bardstown took ownership or came into play with it. And then 2022 is also when they started bottling it, and it was back on the shelves. So, little history there. I kind of like that when they revive old distilleries. I think that's cool. So, what we have tonight is we have the Foolproof. It'll be the last one we're tasting. It is at 117.3 proof. It is aged at least 5 years. It is 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley. That is the same for the regular bourbon, only the regular bourbon is proofed at 90. Then the wheater, I think this one's the wheated, yep, the wheated bourbon. They just changed out that 21% rye and put in 21% wheat in it. And it is also 90 proof. Now, the bourbon and the wheat is $34.99 here in Ohio. The Foolproof here in Ohio is MSRP'd at $59.99. However, I'm thinking it really only MSRP's for like $49.99, like in Kentucky and areas. Not 100% sure about that, but that's kind of what I've seen. So Ohio might be a little bit pricey, but they've also may have just raised the prices. I'm not sure.
Okay.
One or the other. So this is not a blind tonight. Bryan and I know exactly which ones we're drinking. And so we are going to start with the wheat, actually. Nice sweet nose.
Very, yep.
And these are fresh. I mean, I just picked these up today. These are fresh bottle cracks. I will tell you, they did not have very good bottle pop noises. You know how you can usually get the pop. They didn't.
No bottle pop?
No bottle pop. Caramel. A lot of caramel in this nose. Sweet. Nice. It's a nice nose. Wow. It has a little bit of spice on the front. For a 90 proof, it has a lot of flavor. It has a nice sweetness to it.
It does. I actually, with the spice, I don't know. No, this isn't bad, but I kind of got a little bit of bitter at first with the spice right on the front of the palate.
Okay.
But then that bitter almost immediately turns to a sweet for me. But the spice stays, regardless of what else is going on, the spice stays. Not really much of a hug. The spice all stays up on your palate, roof of your mouth.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's spicy all the way through, but that sweetness also is all the way through.
It's got a real smooth finish. There's no problem at all on the finish with it.
And it's a little bit creamy, honestly. Mm-hmm. The viscosity on it, it's a little bit creamy for a 90 proofer.
It's heavy.
That's a nice pour.
Yeah, it's pretty complex really for a 90 proof.
Yeah, and for $35, I mean, I think this is a really good pour. I'm getting the notes of the caramel, the vanilla. Like I said, the spice is all the way through with that sweetness. Maybe a little bit of like a fruitier note at the end, or towards the middle end area.
Yeah.
It's I'm not prepared to say it's a cherry or something. Might be a little bit of a raisin, maybe. Nope, I'm going to change my mind. It's more of an appley sweetness. I like it.
I was going to say it was more of a like a Concord grape actually, to me.
Hey, I will tell you, to me, I like wheated bourbons anyways. weeded whiskeys, weeded bourbons. This is good. I really like it for $35. I would.
Great price point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great pour for $35. And I had no idea, guys. Shona hadn't told me what any of these cost. And if she said it at the beginning, I missed it, so I apologize for that.
What I would like to do with this wheated at some point, I'll have to pick up because I have drank it all, the Woodford wheat. And I'd also like to throw in the Weller, the special reserve, because it's it's the 90 proof as well. Just to compare these, because I think this is
Yeah,
a nice,
that's a nice pour for, and
nice pour.
that's readily available, right?
I was able to get it at our local liquor store today. I don't know as if the Foolproof is as readily available. The rye was just released this year, and I couldn't find it locally around us to go get it. Otherwise, we would have had it tonight. So I think people should be able to find it maybe. I don't believe it's in all 50 states or anything like that yet.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's maybe halfway distributed.
Well, that was a good start.
Yeah, very good.
The weeder,
All right, so we are on to the 90 proof bourbon now.
straight bourbon.
Yep, so again, aged at least 5 years for $35. 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley.
Definitely sweet. Definitely sweet.
It's funny, the weeded one, I pick up more of the baking spice and stuff on the nose that you would think is associated with the rye. But I'm not getting that as much with the bourbon that actually has the rye in it. Definitely a sweet nose though. Nice nose.
Hey guys, before I forget, before we go too far, hit that like button for us if you would. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop us a comment. Have you had these? Have you had the Green River line? What do you think of it? Are we close on the weeder? Do we know what we're talking about?
Good.
That is really nice.
For a $35 pour, it is $35 bottle, not $35 pour. It is a little thin, going to be honest there. It is, but it's a 90 proof. But again, it has a nice flavor. I would almost put this up against like the Old Forester, between the 90 proof, the 86 and the 90 proof.
Yeah. I think I might actually put it above that.
I don't know if I'm willing to put it above it. But it's nice, it's smooth. You get a little bit of caramel, you get some char in there. A little bit of a fruity note. I think it's really an apple, honestly. But you're saying grape with that one. But again, I'm thinking I'm getting, you know what? No, this time I think I'm getting pear. Do you get that? Like the aftertaste almost is like a pear.
A pear is not something I was even thinking about, but it kind of has that consistency, that texture even of juice, pear juice.
A little bit of spice on the front. This is a good pour. Would it be my nightly pour? Probably not, to be honest. However, if you poured me this, I'm going to be happy. It's nice, it's smooth.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. It's not one-dimensional, but I wouldn't call it real complex either. But it's a $35 bottle, and for $35, you would expect more one-dimensional, and it's not that.
No, it has flavor, and you can dig out some flavors in it. Well, I would definitely say that I again got that pear note towards the end. It's really, I like it. Maybe even a hint of tobacco, to be honest. It's on the finish though.
I get a little bit of my sweet tart on the front.
Yeah, it's both. The weeded and the bourbon's good. I'm super anxious for the Foolproof though, because I've heard really good things about it. So after trying these two, I don't think we're going to be disappointed.
No, and color's usually an indication, and it's got a really nice darker tone over the other two.
It sure does. But before we get into that, I want to thank our newest patron, John Shank. Thank you so much for supporting our channel.
Thanks,
we
John.
really appreciate that. All right.
Thanks to everybody that has been subscribing. That brings up a good point. Actually,
yes.
Next Friday night, we're going to be doing another live. I believe it's going to be with Mark and Mike again.
Yep.
That hasn't been set in stone, but I think it'll happen.
We are going to be celebrating.
Big celebration. We did finally hit 1,000 subscribers last night.
I am working on the prize giveaways. We're going to have several. It's going to go throughout the show. So if you can Friday night, be sure to join, because you want to have time to be there the whole time, because the prizes aren't going to be at the end of the thing. It's going to be all throughout the show.
Yeah.
We're going to have a big celebration.
Big, huge. I'm actually taking a little 3-hour tour on Thursday to go and pick up a couple things that we can't get locally. So,
yeah, exciting.
big stuff. Okay, Foolproof.
Yeah, Foolproof.
Are you getting anything on the nose, really?
No, but I do want to go back real quick if you don't care. Honestly, I have not had a pear for a long time in my life. I can't even tell you the last time I've had a pear. However, I do like pears.
Likes them so much you hadn't had one.
I know. I just had a peach for the first time for a couple years last week, and it was delicious. Anyways, when I went back, that pear is really on the nose on that one. I was comparing it because these one's 90 proof, one's foolproof, so I was just trying to see if they're relatively the same. But I really got the pear note on that one.
And I don't know, did you tell what the Foolproof was? 117.3?
Yes, 117.3. I am getting like a yeasty note on this, like the fresh baked bread. Like when you're if you ever bake and you're like kneading the bread and stuff like that, I'm getting that note on it, which I enjoy. And then I'm getting like a little hint of tobacco on the nose. The tobacco is really present for me on the nose, which I also enjoy. You've already tasted it. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't wait any longer. I sniffed it a couple times. You went back to the pear. For $59 for a Foolproof, that's probably more readily available than some of the other Foolproofs that we have. That's awesome for the money.
It changes.
Yeah.
It like enters and then does a cartwheel and changes. Oh my gosh. I'm not saying it's the best I've ever had, however,
No.
it is.
No, but
Wow.
if you consider all things, availability, price, it's really, really good.
Okay, Brian's gonna hate me. I'm getting that leather note, and it turns into a tobacco-ish note. Then I'm getting like a dried cherry note, like a dark dried cherry. Spice all the way through. Some char.
Can I say that none of the three of these gave me a hug? There was no hug on the end of any of them.
I will say that the Foolproof, there's a little bit of hug on my tongue the whole way through, but nothing, no Kentucky hug going down or anything
No,
like
there's nothing going down.
that.
Now I get the brown sugar on this up front.
You know what? I didn't get it. I didn't even think about it because I was so excited to get that leather note, and I know that you hate it when I say that, but I love that leather and tobacco
It
note.
just makes me want to like squeeze that sweetness out of it when it hits my palate.
Now, I'm going to honestly say, I feel like with the reviews and stuff that have been out on this Foolproof in the last few months, that we should go to the wine rack and get the other bottle that's there before it's gone, because it's that good. For $59.99, I know that it may be $49.99 elsewhere, but for $59.99 here in Ohio, that is good.
Yeah, it's a really good bottle for $59.
That is delicious.
And I know to a lot of people, $59 is kind of like right in their, right in their max. And really, that's where we like to be
Yeah.
when you're doing reviews. So unfortunately, sometimes you have to spend a little more than that. But for the guy that is in the $40 to $60 range, any of these are a win.
That is, they are. These are, they're all a win. I'm falling in love with this one, honestly. I would like to put it up. I think I want to put it up with the 1792 because it's almost in the Foolproof, the 1792. I think it's about the same. It's 125, I guess, 125 proof. I don't know. I'd like to put that up against a few other Foolproofs
Yeah, that thing's really good.
because that has that nice tobacco note, the leather note that I like.
The Weller comes in at 114.
The Weller does. It has a little bit of a cherry note, but it has that spice all the way through. Some char on the finish. Wow. Nice lineup.
It really is. You did great.
I mean, who would imagine I picked up these 3 bottles, just over $100 or so. I got 3 different games. 3 different people can play games now. And 3 great bourbons.
And who would have thought that I would have been in the shop working and you'd have been out buying bourbon?
I know. I kind of like it. I like it, guys.
I do too. I didn't have to go get it,
Nope.
nor get in trouble for buying it.
No. Great lineup. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad that one of my friends, old co-workers, and I were talking at a party last weekend, and we both were like, yeah, I'm glad I went and got that, and I'm glad I picked up these 2 as well with it.
Had he had this?
You know what, I don't remember, but I think we were both talking about, everybody was saying it was so good, and he had told me that Wine Rack had got it in. So
Okay.
That's why I wanted to go get it. I didn't make it until today. I'm super busy here lately, but I'm glad they still had it. And I think that I should go get the other one that they had.
I think you should too, most definitely.
Because I have a feeling once word gets out, it's going to go off the shelf quickly.
So this is kind of like that hipster bottle on that one list we did.
I think it's going to be a hipster bottle.
Yeah, I think this will probably take off.
And if anyone knows where we can get a single barrel, because I bet you a single barrel would be awesome.
Or the rye, right?
Or the rye. We love ryes. Let us know, because we would really like to try those out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So that's all we got.
Well, that's an awesome lineup. Thanks for going and getting that and setting that up for us.
Yeah, you want to play some shoot the shoe with me?
I don't know that I'm going to give her another shot, because she's going to want to play for Washington Glens again, and I've already won that. So I might let her practice for another time.
Okay.
So thanks for joining us, guys, and hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, be safe, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.